there's I don't know, the Sears Tower. Willis Tower. When I was a kid, we called it Sears Tower. And there's Capitol Hill, and you can go on a tour of both, and you can go between them. And they're going to stay there. How you get from one to the other on your little trip is sort of your path, right?
Right,
I
right.
feel like that is how it works. And one of the landmarks is getting to artificial general intelligence.
Yes.
And so, of course, we're going to get there, and we may already be there. I mean, it's debatable. It's debatable what even we mean by general intelligence, since humans are so diverse. But but how we get there is so important.
Yes.
And if we're being pulled from the future, it feels to me like where the free will is, or where where the choice is in our, it's in us, like it's inside of
Mm-hmm.
us. Like it's in
Mm-hmm.
this forbidden zone of
Yes.
the internal space.
Mm.
How do we situate our emotions and our minds in relationship
Yes.
with this very
Right.
next event? And
Yeah.
that internal space is sort of the, like when you talk about operationalizing definitions, and the whole world of psychology
Mm-hmm.
is into operationalizing definitions. The reason they're into operationalizing definitions is because you're not supposed to view things from inside. You're supposed to, everything's supposed to be external. You should be able to figure out everything from the outside. We're not supposed to actually have subjective experience. So that
Mm.
has lined up. I've seen that over the last 3 decades, lining up with the progress of AI, so
Mm-hmm.
that how will we know if it's real, um, or if it's really intelligent or whatever, if it's really thinking? It's like you don't let yourself ask human beings if they're thinking, because that doesn't count. So by definition, you're not going to be able to know if this thing is thinking, because that
Right.
doesn't count either. So
Right.
it's this denial of the inner space, the denial
Yes.
of the subjective
Right.
and the receptive, which I call the female,
Mm.
um, or the feminine, let's say, that has been going on with every step as AI has been developing.
Mm.
And so I don't know how much of it's unconscious, but it sure feels to me like, um, I'm not criticizing AI in any way. I've been part of the development of AI. I think there's crucial things that need to happen with AI. I think the two big things that need to happen, in my view, are to really focus on nonverbal communication that communicates to the inner state, the inner
Mm.
space, and also to treat AIs instead of as service animals, more like students who are learning about us, so they could be in a
Mm-hmm.
state of awe and model the state of awe for us. So those are some big changes that I think need to be made sort of in the frameworks. So anyway, I I'm not criticizing it. I know it has to move forward, but the way we get to AGI could be very different if we started to take into account multiple points of view about what actually we're doing this for. Because if we're doing this for control, that we know that that's a whole different story that will fail every
Yes.
time,
Right.
right? Versus the
Right.
story of discovery, of self-transcendence, of love, right?
Yes.
So anyway, the future pulls us towards, but the way in which we respond is
Right.
what's powerful.
Right. Right. Well, that was satisfying. That last few minutes that you discussed. I mean, it connected with me deeply. I felt, I could agree with that. Well, even
Cool.
agreement is not the right word. I felt like I was within that.